Jennifer Hudson just found out the hard way that Common might not be the loyal partner he claimed to be. And according to reports, she's not taking it lightly. Word on the street is that Common's wandering eye already got him into some serious trouble after he allegedly stepped out on Jennifer with a mystery woman. And let me tell you, Jennifer was not about to let that slide. She reportedly flipped out on him, dragged him for everything he's worth, and dumped him like yesterday's news. Now, here's the thing that makes this whole situation even messier. A lot of people saw this coming from a mile away. Given Common's track record with relationships, fans have been warning Jennifer that this exact scenario was bound to happen. His ex, Tiffany Haddish, even went out of her way trying to get Jennifer to see what type of person Common really was, but those warnings apparently fell on deaf ears. And now Jennifer's learning the hard way that sometimes when people show you who they are, you should believe them the first time. This isn't just about one alleged affair either. This is about a pattern of behavior that's followed Common throughout his entire dating history, and it's finally catching up to him in a major way. The streets are talking, the tea is piping hot, and Jennifer Hudson is allegedly done playing games with someone who doesn't know how to act right. Let's talk about Common's history with women, because it's important context for understanding why this situation with Jennifer isn't surprising to anyone who's been paying attention. This man has dated some of the most successful, beautiful, talented women in entertainment, and somehow every single relationship has ended badly. We're talking about Serena Williams, Erykah Badu, Angela Rye, Tiffany Haddish, and several others. Not a single one of his exes has nice things to say about him, and that should tell you everything you need to know. His relationship with Erykah Badu is a perfect example of how he operates. They dated from 2000 to 2002, and when things ended, Common immediately tried to control the narrative. He went public saying that Erykah dumped him over the phone because she caught feelings for someone else. He played the victim card hard, talking about how crushed he was and how it was his first real heartbreak. He made himself look like the good guy who got blindsided by a woman who did him wrong. But Erykah eventually had enough of him telling his version of events and making her look bad. She fired back by hinting that there was infidelity involved in their breakup, suggesting that Common wasn't as innocent as he pretended to be. She made it clear that his cheating was a factor in why she ended things, but he conveniently left that part out when he was telling everyone his sob story. That's been Common's pattern for years. Date someone amazing, mess it up somehow, then twist the story afterwards so he doesn't look like the villain. He did the same thing with Angela Rye. They were together for a while, and when things ended, Common made it sound like a mutual decision based on both of them being too busy. But people close to the situation said he just got bored and moved on without properly ending things. Then there's Tiffany Haddish, and that situation is probably the most relevant to what's happening with Jennifer now, because Tiffany has been extremely vocal about how Common treated her. They got together during the pandemic after he had broken up with Angela. Tiffany was head over heels for him, talking about how happy she was and how this was the healthiest relationship she had ever been in. She thought they had something real and solid. But as soon as Tiffany started talking about wanting to get engaged and take the relationship to the next level, Common switched up fast. He made it clear to the media that he had no plans to propose, basically shutting down any marriage talk before it could even start. Then he ended the relationship, claiming they both had busy schedules and couldn't make it work. But Tiffany wasn't having that narrative. She came out and said the breakup wasn't mutual at all. Common decided the relationship had run its course and dumped her, leaving her heartbroken. She even said he's the type of person who never really settles down, comparing him to a bee going from flower to flower. That's a pretty harsh assessment, but given his history, it's hard to argue with her. Now here's where it gets interesting with Jennifer Hudson. Tiffany Haddish was still hurting over Common even 2 years after their breakup, and when rumors started swirling that he was dating Jennifer, Tiffany didn't stay quiet. She started throwing shade almost immediately, even before Jennifer and Common officially confirmed they were together. People interpreted Tiffany's behavior as jealousy and bitterness, someone who couldn't move on from an ex who had clearly clearly moved on from her. But looking back now, maybe Tiffany was trying to warn Jennifer in her own way. She knew firsthand what type of partner Common could be, and she didn't want to see another woman go through the same thing she went through. The problem is, when you're the scorned ex throwing shade at your former partner's new relationship, people don't take you seriously. They assume you're just being petty and jealous. So even though Tiffany was dropping hints about Common's true character, Jennifer either didn't see them or chose to ignore them. And honestly, who could blame her? When you're falling for someone and they're treating you well in the beginning, it's easy to dismiss warnings from exes as just jealousy. But now, if these cheating allegations are true, Jennifer is probably wishing she had paid more attention to what Tiffany was trying to tell her. So how did Jennifer and Common even get together in the first place? They've known each other for years, running in the same Hollywood circles. But things didn't turn romantic until they filmed a movie together. They played a married couple on screen, and according to sources, that's when sparks started flying. After the day's shoot would wrap, they'd always find their way to each other's side, spending time together and getting closer. At first, Jennifer tried to play it cool, saying people were creating their own narratives and they were just co-stars who happened to eat together between filming. But then they were spotted on a date in Malibu after production wrapped, and it became harder to deny something was going on. Common even flew all the way to London for the premiere of Jennifer's musical, which was a pretty clear sign that they were serious. They tried to arrive separately to avoid causing a scene, but people noticed they were very much together throughout the night. Eventually, they decided to stop hiding it and made their relationship public on Jennifer's talk show. Common appeared as a guest, and when Jennifer asked if he was dating anyone, he confirmed he was in a relationship with one of the most beautiful people he'd ever met. He talked about how she was smart, loved God, was down to earth and talented. Then he joked that he set his standards high because she had to have an EGOT, win an Oscar on her first movie, and have her own talk show. It was a cute moment that had fans rooting for them, thinking maybe Comet had finally found the one and was ready to settle down for real this time. But things started getting rocky pretty quickly after they went public. First, there were reports that Tiffany Haddish was still publicly talking about Common and how hurt she was over their breakup, which created awkward tension. Then, rumors started swirling that the relationship between Jennifer and Common was getting strained. Sources claimed that Common was pushing for things to get more serious, talking about marriage and making it official, but Jennifer was hesitant. And her hesitation makes complete sense when you understand what she went through in her previous relationship. Jennifer was engaged to wrestler David Otunga for 9 years, and that relationship ended in one of the messiest, most toxic breakups Hollywood has seen. According to Jennifer, David became increasingly controlling and jealous as her career took off. She said he didn't like that she was getting more popular, dressing better, and losing weight. He preferred when she was heavier and less in his spotlight, which is a huge red flag for insecurity and control issues. When things started falling apart, Jennifer didn't hold back about what she allegedly experienced. She filed court documents accusing him of being aggressive, threatening, and harassing her both mentally and physically. She claimed he became insanely jealous to the point where his accusations didn't even make sense anymore. According to Jennifer, David used their son as a pawn, trying to get him to spy on her and report back about what she was doing. She said David would send scary messages when she was at the studio, threatening enough that she had to call security because she feared he might show up and cause trouble. Then when she got home, he was allegedly waiting for her and things got physical, with him grabbing their son and dragging her around. David denied all of these allegations, claiming Jennifer was making false accusations to paint him as the villain and gain sympathy so she could win custody of their son. His lawyer said he never abused or harassed her and that he was looking forward to his day in court. But one of the most disturbing allegations Jennifer made was about a gun. She claimed David left a firearm out on the kitchen table as some twisted mind game to intimidate her. This is especially messed up considering Jennifer's tragic family history. Her mother, brother, and nephew were all lost on the same day due to gun violence. So for someone to allegedly use a weapon to mess with her head knowing that trauma is beyond cruel. David's legal team said it was just a prop gun from an audition, that he told Jennifer that, but she still freaked out.
out. Regardless of whose version is true, it's clear that relationship left Jennifer deeply scarred and extremely cautious about who she trusts with her heart.
So, when Common started talking about marriage and commitment, Jennifer reportedly pumped the brakes hard. According to insiders, she was adamant after her engagement with David that she would never marry, that it just wasn't in the cards for her anymore. But then Common came into her life and swept her off her feet, making her believe maybe she could trust someone again. He told her that despite his past with so many famous women, he was in this relationship for keeps and wanted to make it permanent. But Jennifer wasn't buying it completely. She'd been burned before, and Common's history with women made her suspicious. Then the rumor started swirling that he had allegedly cheated on her with someone, and all of Jennifer's worst fears were confirmed. Sources say she believes Common has a lot of nerve to allegedly cheat on her and then propose like nothing happened. She thinks the sudden push for marriage is him trying to lock her down before she finds out more about what he's been doing behind her back. And honestly, that's a pretty reasonable suspicion given everything we know about Common's past behavior. He's got a track record of getting bored in relationships, stepping out, and then trying to control the narrative afterward. Why would things be different with Jennifer just because she's an EGOT winner? If anything, that probably makes the situation worse because he knows losing someone of her caliber would make him look really bad publicly. Fans have been flooding social media with comments telling Jennifer to run and protect herself. One person wrote that at the end of the relationship, they said she should keep stepping or keep her feelings in her pocket because Common sounds like a good time, but also a heartbreaker. Another commented that Jennifer is wise to proceed with caution and should keep her guard up because there's just something about Common that doesn't seem as upstanding as he tries to appear. People are saying it's 2024 and who knows what will come out or happen, so they're glad Jennifer is wide awake and knows what she's truly dealing with. The consensus seems to be that Jennifer dodged a bullet by not rushing into marriage with someone whose patterns suggest he's not ready to be the committed partner he claims to be. And the timing of all this drama is interesting because it's happening right as Common was allegedly trying to propose and make things official. That suggests maybe Jennifer found out about the alleged cheating right when he was trying to take the relationship to the next level, which would explain why she reportedly reacted so strongly. Nobody wants to be proposed to by someone who's been stepping out on them behind their back. That's not romance, that's manipulation.
So where does this leave Jennifer and Common now? According to the latest reports, things are looking very shaky for their relationship, if it's even still happening at all. Jennifer has allegedly made it clear that she's not about to repeat the mistakes of her past by staying with someone who doesn't respect her or the relationship. She worked too hard to heal from the trauma of her previous engagement to let another man treat her poorly. And Common, for his part, is reportedly trying to do damage control and convinced her that whatever happened was a mistake and that he's serious about wanting to be with her. But here's the thing about patterns. They don't change unless the person actively works to change them. And Common has shown the same behavior across multiple relationships for over 2 decades. He gets with someone amazing, things are great at first, then he either gets bored or his eyes start wandering and the relationship falls apart. Then he tries to spin the story so he doesn't look like the bad guy. That's been the cycle every single time. So even if Jennifer gave him another chance, what's to say the same thing wouldn't happen again 6 months or a year down the road? At some point, you have to believe someone when they show you who they are through their actions, not just their words. And Common's actions over the years have shown that he's not the settling down type, no matter how much he claims to want that in interviews. The streets are definitely talking, and the consensus is that Jennifer needs to walk away and not look back. She's too talented, too successful, and too valuable to waste her time on someone who doesn't appreciate what he has. Common had the chance to be with an EGOT-winning queen who's beautiful, talented, and down to earth, and if these allegations are true, He messed it up by not being able to keep his focus where it should have been. That's on him, not on her. Jennifer deserves someone who's going to match her energy, respect the relationship, and not make her question whether she can trust them. And if Common can't be that person, then it's better for her to find out now rather than after getting married and legally tying herself to someone who wasn't ready for the commitment he claimed he wanted. So the big question everyone's asking is whether Jennifer will actually walk away for good, or if she'll give him another chance if he's truly sorry. Drop your thoughts in the comments below and make sure you hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next update on this messy situation.